So it's driver battle time in this video. We've got the TaylorMade Stealth, 20 years in the making with a carbon face, up against the under £400 price mark of the Cobra LTDx Driver. Head to head, let's see which one is the better performer. Okay, so let's kick things off and get straight into this, and it's the Cobra LTDx up to start with. So obviously we've got some different models. This is standard one weighted screw at the back, which is very similar to the setup that we have in the Stealth. Let's get this first one hit. So I've got these set up as close as I possibly can together in terms of spec. Both 9° heads set at 9°. Both got hazardous smoke RDX shafts in, and the only difference is the length of the TaylorMade is ½ an inch longer than the Cobra. That's the only difference. I couldn't get the lengths exactly the same, so we might just see a touch more club head speed because of that. But let's get this Cobra one underway. Okay, that was a bit off the bottom of the club face. You can probably just see that launch comes out a little bit low, but it was nice and straight, so I'll take that all day long in terms of hitting fairways. I probably said this in my review video with the Cobra. The looks of it is okay. It doesn't blow me away in terms of the looks of the actual head itself, but you know, matte black. We've got that front section that's just a slightly different, darker shaded black in regards to that back area. A couple of little go faster stripes on the top. Well, that was a better tee shot. Touch of left to right on that, but better strike. And some good ball speed, great spin, and a good carry distance. So we see, you know, I saw some good performance with the Cobra. You know, I think the feel of it, for me personally, felt a little bit hard off the club face. If I'm going to have any sort of criticism on the feel of the, you know, the strike and the ball and the club face. But you know what, when I sit that down by the golf ball, it sits really nice and square. So I like the fact that it sits very, very square. I've got that as much forgiveness in this as we possibly can with that weighted section all the way back, low back in the club head. And that's probably a good example that I've hit that quite toe. Could really feel that, but I tell you what, that's flown really well for a toe strike. Obviously a little bit of gear effect there helps to straighten that up, but look at that 283, that was a real miss hit there for me. Could feel a twist in the club, but the stabilisation of the, in terms of that spin axis on the golf ball was really good. Okay, so let's switch into the Stealth 3 shots, then we'll go back to the Cobra in a minute. So standard Stealth here, again, that weight in the back. Obviously the Plus has the movable weight at the front, which obviously pushes a little bit CG forward, makes it a little bit more lower spinning. So similar models that are up against each other, high MOI, forgiveness, but obviously creating that fast ball speed. 9°, again, set at 9°, and for me, I'm a real big fan of the way that TaylorMade looks. I know there's a lot of mixture of feelings from you as viewers of the looks of this. I quite like it. I like the fact they've blacked it out. Some people say it looks quite cheap. I sort of get it a little bit, but do you know what? I quite like the shape of that. The red face just stands out, which I don't mind at all. I quite like the look of this. All right, okay, that's a very similar strike, probably a little bit higher in that toe than that Cobra one I hit. Definitely, again, that was a miss hit. Felt that sort of twist a little bit more, I'd say a little bit higher. You can see that ball speed, not too bad. Club head speed a little bit more, probably just that little bit length of shaft increase there just by ½ an inch, probably just gave me a little bit of speed there. But look at that, 281 carry again on that miss hit. So again, a really forgiving driver. And we always know hitting it a little bit toe, maybe slightly high toe, is always going to probably not lose you massive yardage because it tends to sort of just pop the ball up, pull a little bit of spin off, and we know that can add just a little bit of extra yardage to the shots. Just a little bit of left to right on that. I struck that well. A little bit of peel. That club head speed. So I must admit, I know there's a little bit of length difference here, but it's only ½ an inch. But I do tend to move this Stealth a lot quicker. 117, 165 ball. That's a good strike. Spin popped up. But you see, I just don't really get that return in that carry number there. For me, I'd expect a little bit more ball speed. 117 club. I'd want to see that ball speed at least 167, 168, maybe even one edging sort of towards that 170 mark in honesty. But I do like the sound and the feel off the club face. I know it's carbon face, it doesn't feel dead like a carbon face. There you go, that's a better strike there, and that's 118 club. 169 ball, so that's more of a relationship. You see, smash at 144. I still feel like I've got more in the locker there. I should be getting a little bit more out of that ball speed, even with that higher sort of club head speed. But you can see 288 is getting a little bit more into it. Okay, so what are my thoughts between the looks of these two drivers? I say, for me, two different looking drivers. The Cobra, as I say, has got a little bit more going on, maybe a little bit busier with a carbon effect. We've got those little sort of ridges in there. We've got this, the front part, which is darker than the last part. We've got a little bit of lip sticking in the heel and the toe. And it's a little bit longer from front to back in comparison to the TaylorMade there. So it is a different look, but does sit very nice and square. TaylorMade, as I say, a little bit now darker on that carbon. We don't see the carbon effect or the weave as prominent as maybe obviously we saw in the Sim versions. Blacked out, obviously got that gloss black trim around it. But I think quite a nice shape. So for me, I do prefer the look of the TaylorMade in that regards. So let's move back into this Cobra now. We've hit some of that TaylorMade. Another 3 shots with the Cobra. It's a good strike, just peeling fractionally, but a good ball flight there. So what you've seen, notice there, I've just popped the dispersion rings up now. We've hit a few shots with each. So obviously the white there now is with the Cobra. This is the total run out against the orange of the TaylorMade. So a good example there, that particular shot I've said, just faded that a little bit up the right, but you see club head speed 113, ball speed 165, so that smash at 146, a little bit more efficient than that shot, isn't it? Oh, again, that's a toe shot up that right. But I tell you what, I'm really testing the forgiveness levels here now, and I bet you that is not far away from the others. There we go, that's as long as some of the other ones. I've definitely hit that toe, very similar to that one I hit before. Smashes down, but you see that launch just popped up, spins come down because that toe strike, there's a little bit of carry. So definitely favouring the right hand side of this fairway today. If you can call that fairway, it might be a wide fairway, which is just clinging on that one. Okay, so 166 with 13, good launch, good spin. There's a big carry there, look at that smash. So definitely looking to be more efficient from what I'm putting into it as a club head speed to what I'm getting out as that return of that ball speed. So back in the Stealth now, last 3, and we'll go and check a few numbers. Oh, again, that's a little bit toe, touch up the right, it's holding its line though. Again, that's that. I'm glad I'm getting the similar strikes between the two. I'm really testing these MOI of these drivers. So again, the club head speed's there, the ball speed isn't there. Obviously that was a little bit more of a miss hit, but it's one you'll take all day. I mean, I'll have that all day long as a miss hit on the golf course. Oh, that's a better shot. That's a better hit. Okay, that's got to be good. 14.9. So I've gone from like 118 club head speed down to 115 area, 165, 189. So I've got the launch a bit lower spin, good bit of carry on that one. But again, that smash 144. Okay, so last one with Stealth, and then we'll go and check a few numbers out. That's a good strike. There's me trying to stop hitting it up that right hand side now. That's a good ball flight on that. Touch pulley. 145 smash, not too bad, good ball speed, decent carry. Okay, let's go check a few numbers out. Let's have a look at some strike patterns and a little bit of dispersion as well. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the side on and bird's eye view of the shots, and this is the Cobra up in the white ball flight. So obviously you can see that a little bit left to right, a bit of a loose one there. Those aren't too bad, to be fair. They're probably just clinging on into the right half of the fairway, so I'll take those. Obviously a bit of a loose one, as I say. Then moving into the orange of the TaylorMade, you can see flight, very, very similar on the trajectory of that ball flight. Just a little bit more of a spread there on the shot pattern into, again, a few up that right-hand side, coupled maybe a little bit wider fairway, clinging on, good, up the left half. So there's a little bit of a two-way miss happening there in relationship to that Cobra. So a little bit more predictable maybe with the Cobra in terms of that ball flight and those batch of shots. So to say, I wanted to look at the strikes on all 6 of those with the Cobra, which is this heat patch here. So fraction toe, as I say, I had a couple of missy toe ones there, didn't I? But pretty much in that sort of toe area. Look at the TaylorMade, and very, very similar, very similar, maybe just that one that came up a little bit high toe there, but very similar sort of pattern. So when we look at the numbers now, so clear difference of club head speed between the two, and knows that little bit of difference of shaft length by ½ inch, so 116, 113.5, but I would expect to see a little bit of a less difference from just ½ inch. So clearly moving that Stealth a little bit quicker. Now I've seen that in previous sort of videos, but then look at the ball speed, 165.2, 165.6. I've just not seen that return from the extra club head speed to then getting that ball speed. So you can see that correlates with the smash 143 against 146. So, you know, less speed, maybe more control, getting a better strike. Well, the strikes are the same, aren't they? So pretty much the same strikes we've just seen, but I'm just getting a better return out of it with the Cobra against that TaylorMade. Launch exactly the same, spin very, very similar, touch more with the Stealth. There, 283, shot 284, so very, very similar on the carry, rollout, and descent angle, just obviously a little bit lower. with the Cobra there, but not a lot in it, but a big difference of that ball speed there in relation to club head speed. Okay, so what would you go for, Cobra or Stealth? Post comments down below. For me, I do prefer the look and the feel of that TaylorMade, to be honest, for my personal preferences. But then when I look at that efficiency, that club head speed in relation to that ball speed, the Cobra does tick a very big box. So it's a tough one for me to sort of choose between these two. Probably get used to a look and a feel if the numbers are good and the ball flight's consistent. Thanks very much for watching. Appreciate your support as always, and hopefully we'll catch you all very soon.